Hello again, my name is Gabe Zolna. I read an article on WND and it was very interesting. What it really talked about is it looks like there's very little doubt that the then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton lied under oath. Not only did she know as to the transfer of weapons, she was instrumental in recommending it initially. And what I did is I wrote an article that I posted on their comments section on WND, and I also put it on my Facebook. But what I thought I would do is turn it into a video. And the reason that is that I think more people would spend more time looking at a video than they might reading something. And if you like this video, and if you receive this video, please send it to everyone and anyone that you know. Time is running out. And here's the article. Want to bet that the weapons used to kill the ambassador, Smith, Woods, and Doherty were initially supplied by the criminal Obama administration, which Hillary Clinton was a part of as Secretary of State? Also want to bet that a portion of Big Sis's stash of hollow .357 and .40 caliber ammunition have found their way into Syria and are responsible for the killing of thousands of cryptic Christians and Shiite Muslims. If I were to give a weapon to someone, and that someone went out and murdered a number of people, I would also be held criminally responsible for their deaths. Here we have a president, if that's what we have to call him, that directly engaged in supplying, training, providing money, and massive amounts of weapons to the Syrian freedom fighters, which we fully well know, as did this dysfunctional and criminal administration, that the rebels are comprised of jihadists, Al-Qaeda, released prisoners, Taliban Muslim Brotherhood fighters, and any and all other low-life radical Muslim extremists that the Syrian freedom fighter rebels can scrape up from the cesspools throughout the Middle East. We also learn that the Syrian freedom fighters are not only being trained by Americans, but by the British and the French as well. So much for the United Nations. As ambassador to the United Nations, is it fair to say that Susan Rice must have been fully aware of the training that had been taking place? Yet she gets up on 5 media national outlets to push the lies and the narrative that the administration assembled together to try and divert, distract, to deceive the American people from the truth. At the same time that Obama and his administration, with Hillary Clinton and General Petraeus' full knowledge and support, are arming the Muslim extremists, we are still sending our military to fight and die in Afghanistan against radical Muslims that are trained and equipped by Obama and his dysfunctional and criminal administration. We also have the United Nations about to vote on a quote-unquote small arms treaty, while at the same time Obama is shipping thousands of tons of weapons via air and ship to arm, quote, the Syrian freedom fighters, end of quote, knowing full well that they are directly responsible for what happened at Benghazi. Without those arms having been shipped and supplied to the rebels, the deaths in Benghazi would in all probability never have occurred. One has to wonder how people like Hillary Clinton, Obama, and the rest of his criminal administration can sleep at night knowing how many innocent deaths that they are directly responsible for. One also has to wonder how long our elected congressional representatives will allow this madness to continue. Obama and Dianne Feinstein launched a national attack on our Second Amendment rights after what happened at Sandy Hook Elementary School, where 20 innocent little children were slaughtered along with a number of adults. He then surrounds himself in the White House with children to further tug at the hearts of the American people to further push his gun control agenda. Has anyone any idea how many innocent Syrian children have been and are being slaughtered every day by the weapons that Obama and his criminal administration, including the then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, General Petraeus, and the now Secretary of State John Kerry, are placing in the hands of these radical and extremist, quote-unquote, Syrian freedom fighters? A more important question to ask is, when will our members of Congress wake up and demand that Obama allow the American people to see the documents that Donald Trump offered $5 million to be paid to a charity of Obama's choice by simply releasing his records at Harvard, Occidental, and his passport that he used when he first attended those educational institutions? If they do not act relatively soon, with all of the pressure that is being applied to Obama and his administration, I fear that Obama will soon instruct Big Sis to open the gates of hell onto the American people. There is no longer any excuse not to prosecute Hillary Clinton for perjury. There is no longer any excuse not to impeach Obama for his many crimes against the American people, including his direct involvement with the killings and the murders that took place in Benghazi, Libya, on the evening of September 11th, 2012. If you agree with anything that I've just said, please forward it to your friends. Ask them to do the same. Knowledge is power. We have got to get the information to the American people. And I think it's time we stop worrying about our congressional representatives. They won't help us. I'm going to do another video on who I think might. Thank you, and God bless.